All right, so burnt umber, yellow ochre, Naples yellow, white, and cadmium red light, but keep it now. Don't put it on. Don't put anything out yet. No cadmium red light yet. We'll see how it goes. So I'm taking yellow ochre for now, and I'm gonna come in here in between where the orange is. And you see, I'm ignoring the those. I'm going over them, that post for the umbrella, because I know I can put it on after. I think I need to add here. I might have to add Naples yellow. Please. Oh. Sorry. That's Sandra FaceTiming me. All right, so I added a bit of Naples yellow in here. This is going to require a couple of layers. It's not going to happen from the first layer. It's orange underneath, the yellow is good. That gives me that kind of reddish yellow. Okay, so I think in between here, you could see some of the sand in here in between. And then I'm just gonna push this. Okay. I think yellow ochre is not as opaque, so it's a bit transparent. I don't know if you've noticed that when you were using yellow ochre, right?
Yep.
We'll adjust all of this. This is just the first layer, so it's not how it's going to end up being. So right now, I'm just putting sand and I'll adjust color and value and push in the blue again. So for now, we're just gonna put a good layer. And you know what? I like my colors to be thick. So one layer is not enough usually. I have to think about the skin tone too, where the skin tone is going to be. Is it going to be behind blue or is it going to be behind yellow? When we start putting her skin tone on her. Okay, so I'm mixing. Sometimes I just grab yellow ochre, put some Naples yellow in it, and put a layer here. And then once it's dry, I'll go back with a bit more of just maybe yellow ochre over. This is thick. I'm putting a thick layer. In the photo reference, actually everything around her is so sunny. You know, when you look at her, where her legs are, the concrete or the stone underneath her legs is so sunny, and that's why it's beautiful, this picture, because of that strong sun.
Did you say that underneath her is a gravel beach?
I think this is like a, you know, those concrete
Oh
thing
yes,
that
concrete, yes.
right here, yeah, and all of the rest is rocks, right?
Yes.
I think this reminds me of south of France.
Yes.
The beaches like that, rocks and pebbles. It's not sand. Yep. Oh. So I am actually going by what I'm seeing here, right here. So this is sunny. There's sun, and then there's a shadow of the chair after that. Okay.
With some of blue is covered. I will put more on top. I think so.
Some of the blue, that's okay. It's covered. Some of the blue is covered. You're saying?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to put the blue over that again later on. We're going to put a light blue, very light. Okay. So changing into yellow ochre in here gives it that kind of movement of sand and the feel and texture of sand. I should wait for it to dry a bit because it's going to lift if I'm not careful. All right, so now I'm going to move into the underneath the chair. I'm going to grab burnt umber, yellow ochre, or if you have ultramarine violet with your yellow ochre, that will work too. It looks like it has that kind of brownish color. Technically, it should be purple and yellow. To darken your yellow, you use or make it more grayish, you use the opposite color on the color wheel. But sometimes sometimes I use burnt umber. I just, if I don't want to introduce a cool color in there. Of course, with acrylics, we wait for it to dry and then I adjust the value. All right, now I'm going to get to that light color in there. So I'll wipe my brush and pick up some medium tone using yellow ochre, Naples yellow, and a bit of the burnt umber. That's in between. So this is light, medium, dark. That's good. Wipe my brush and I'll let it dry so we can work on this next layer. Okay, so let's do one more layer where the sand is. See where the beach and the wave right there ends abruptly where, you know, there's sand. I was just putting some blue right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white and blue. This is cerulean blue and white. And I'm just going to come in here and just soften this a bit where the actual sea or water meets the sand. And bring some blue in, even if it's like some light blue in, even if it's like patches. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just nice to bring the blue in a bit. It's more like a light blue. Okay, so I'm going to take white now, just white. My canvas is a canvas. My brush is not, I didn't wash it, so it still has blue on it. And I'm just going to bring in a stronger kind of white for the wave, dabbing and moving my hand with at the same time. I don't want to make it all the same intensity because waves are not kind of, it's not a really a strong wave. They're not intense usually. They're not all the same thickness all around. You see that some part they're higher, some part they're lower, and they break up a bit. Guess I'm going to bring some white in, soft white. Okay, so for the umbrella, I'm going to start with the blue part, because that will give me an idea about my colors and what I want to put with this blue. So let's start with the one closer to us. Usually I go from back to front, but it's okay because I don't have to overlap anything. They're right next to each other. Right, so this is Payne's Gray and Cerulean Blue. And I'm just going to take Can you see what I'm doing? No, you can't. It's right here.
It's more dark or
Dark, yeah, on the dark side. I'm going to leave a line in between. Okay. I'm going to do the one behind it the same. Just a bit of more cerulean in here. Okay, let's bring in a smaller brush. Okay. Now I can decide after if I want to highlight them or I want to keep them dark. We can decide. I can decide this after. I don't have to make a decision right now. I'm adding a touch of white in here. Same color, but just a touch of white. I don't want it to be solid, kind of blue with no. It's nice to see brush strokes and some highlight. Yeah, much better with the lighter color in it. Lighter blue. All right. Okay, so for this part, which is the white part where the umbrella is, right here, the white, I'm going to use titanium buff and ultramarine violet to make it darker. A dark base. We can put a bit of blue in there too. Cerulean blue, touch of cerulean blue.
The top is only titanium buff.
Pardon?
The top you did is only titanium buff.
This one here?
Yes. Or
No,
it has that's
no, it has, I was trying with some brown, like burnt umber and titanium buff, but it didn't work. So I'm switching it to the same, this one here, titanium buff and ultramarine violet and a small amount of blue in there too. For the darks, because we're gonna highlight all of this later on, but we need the dark first, especially inside the umbrella, it's darker. There's a shadow inside the umbrella here. So I use titanium buff. I'm using titanium buff, ultramarine violet, and a very small amount of blue. And then
blue, the cerulean blue.
cerulean, yeah, the same blue. Because that's the blue of the sky and the blue of the sea is going to reflect in this white. And the blue on the umbrella too.
Yeah.
That's a nice shape. You see this one here, you can see that the value on the one inside, this one, is darker right here, right there. But this one here is significantly darker than the one in front. Okay. Let's put the blue before we start highlighting, so this way we can see. All right. Take cerulean blue, Payne's gray, some white. Especially the ones with the sun hitting on them. They're going to be a lighter blue. Nice. I think part of the nice part of this reference is actually the umbrellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, the stripes, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's my favorite part.
Very nautical. Mhm.
Makes a big difference to the painting. So the bottom part of this here, I'm just gonna wiggle this a bit because this, jeez. I'm supposed to wiggle it, not ruin it. Okay. All right, this part is kind of this part of the part here is kind of washed out because of the sun right here. Okay, that's good. It looks so heavy right now because there's nothing else. The rest of the painting is not ready yet. Still can see some orange in here. So it looks just a tiny bit too strong right now, those umbrellas. I like them though. I like the depth.
Mhm.
Right, let's take some titanium buff, ultramarine violet, blue, okay, let's try to highlight a bit before we continue. Start to highlight the light part. This is titanium buff. I'm using titanium buff. Just a very, very small amount of the mixture of titanium buff and ultramarine violet, very small amount in that, and a bit of white. And let's come here and see if we can. If I find, and I'm finding it right now, I think it's a bit too, it should be a bit too, it should be a bit more yellowy than this.
Did you add white to that, did you say?
Yeah, I don't think white is a good thing to add here because it's making it really kind of bluish. I'm trying to grab just titanium buff right now and see if that will work. I think it will work better if you just use titanium buff. Anything else with that, with the titanium buff, is making it more blue. You know, we'll use white where we need more highlight. We'll use more white later on. trying to take advantage of the darks. So I can highlight, I can highlight the fold, not the fold, the weight, what do you call this kind of movement? You know what I mean? You see, there's a slight, if you look at the value, there's a slight difference in the lighter color here and the darker because it's wavy. The fabric is not straight.
Almost looks like plates, but they're not.
It's, you know what I mean? It's not straight. So I'm trying to, this is just a white right now. Okay, that's good. So there's a kind of a triangle here, like a highlight.
Mhm.
Okay, one more. And over here too. So you can see that kind of where the fabric is folding a bit. That's good. Same with awnings. Right, let's try to do this. So this is, again, has to be done more like a dark medium light. Okay, let's try one more.
This is only white, Leah, you're using?
This is the titanium buff right now. This
Oh,
one.
so white?
Titanium buff only. I'm not
Yeah,
using white.
titanium buff is yellowish.
It's an off-white. It's an off-white color. You don't have titanium buff? You have ecru, you have, what is it?
Titanium buff, but it's yellowish.
Yeah.
Oh, unbleached titanium.
Yes, unbleached titanium is the same. Good, that's good. Unbleached titanium is good too.
Yeah.
Some part of this umbrella, the white part, some parts are dark, the inside, so you can't highlight them too much. You can't highlight it as much as this one here. It has to be highlighted less. You know, the only reason I'm highlighting too is just because I want to show the movement. Okay, let's highlight the outer part. Now this outer part, I can put some white over the titanium buff, because this is where the sun is. The inside, it shouldn't have any white, but the outside one, once I put titanium buff, I can go out. I can go over with a bit of white. Although, I mean, it's not showing that much here, and it's showing that's darker. I'll darken some areas once I'm done. I like this.
Very nice.
I like it. Cute.
Very.
That's just titanium buff right now. And again, I'm just going to come here, highlight a bit. I don't want to highlight it too much. I just want movement. So I darkened this with titanium buff, ultramarine violet, and a bit of cerulean blue. And I'm just highlighting it with ultramarine violet, with titanium buff only while it's wet, because this is gonna give me a softer edge when it's wet. All right, that's good. It looks like a mess right now, but eventually it'll look good.
No, it's nice. Already it looks nice.
Thanks. Just make sure the edge is not straight all the way, because this is moving, this is fabric and it's moving with the wind. I'm going to highlight the top of this umbrella a bit and leave a dark blue line. I like these little details.
Is this sky you're
Hmm?
doing now?
Pardon?
Is this sky?
No, this is the umbrella.
Oh,
This
the
is the
umbrella,
top.
but you were highlighting. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the top of the umbrella.
Yes.
Good. So this is now again titanium buff. I'm bringing in a bit of ultramarine violet, and I just want to highlight this part. So for the first layer, I don't know what's happening in here. There's a messy part in here. I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the ultramarine violet into my titanium buff for the first layer. This is second layer actually, because the orange is still showing underneath. So I need that. And there's quite a bit of a strong movement of the fabric here. You can see it at the bottom. And it's really nice. Now I'm taking titanium buff. Just putting a bit of titanium buff where the fabric is higher up. I lost some of the darks in here, so I'm going to put them back. There's a strong dark here and here. Now again, titanium buff. Okay. All right. I think it's enough for tonight.